let's get into the real tea.
Real
Yeah.
tea.
See what I did?
Yeah.
Let's get into the real juicy tea that's been happening over the weekend. And you guys thought, no, maybe there won't be a podcast on Monday. Maybe because there wasn't any fights to break down, they're not going to make a show. But you're wrong. There was a whole bunch of drama that went on in the weekend, and it was almost better than a fight night. Because this drama, it was just brilliant. I just loved watching it unfold, and I love the people who got involved, and I love the little things that have been happening, and it's still ongoing. And I kind of feel bad for one person who was involved. That person
Who's
is
that?
Ian Garry.
You feel bad for Ian
I
Garry?
do. He's a young lad. He's older than me. He's a young lad, and
Look, this kid, Ian Garry.
I don't know. This kid is an absolute savage.
Yeah.
30-year-old fucking
Yeah. It's going to be
Cyril
us.
Garn.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for Ian Garry. This is a tough situation that he's in, honestly. Like, and you've got to think, like, at the end of it all, he is just human. He's 26 years old. And, like, yeah, he's confident and brash and all that. But, like, this has got to be getting to him.
Mm.
It doesn't seem to be getting to his wife. She loves it, obviously. Like, the shit that she posts on Instagram. And
Well, all of a sudden, everyone knows who she is, for a start. But
that's a big one.
yeah, I think you're right. It's not really his doing that any of this is kind of blowing up. To an extent, it seems more kind of something a narrative that she's tried to push and keep firing back at. But
Yeah.
again, I don't know.
If they didn't want any of this to come into the light, they could have just never talked about it.
Yeah.
And she was the one who wanted to talk about it on that little clip
Yeah,
that came out. And that's what really brought this into the limelight.
Mm.
So
it's funny though that like only a small number of little clips has really just brought this whole thing down,
Blown it
the
up.
whole curtain down on the whole operation.
because I think they're filming a documentary of his rise, like kind of like McGregor did. They're filming a documentary of his like come up,
Right.
and that's where the clips got released from. But in the clip that everyone talks about, it is literally Ian Garry saying, "Look, I don't want to talk about this. It dries up my energy. I don't want to talk about this." And his wife's like, "No, I really want to. I'm going to cry," or something like that. And then she's like, "Oh," and then he kind of brings it up. If you were a wag, then I would have a conversation with you, something. And then he's like, "Oh, I don't need some fat wanker with a beard, the MMA guru.
Right.
I don't need someone like that talking about me," or something like that. But
Gotcha.
you could tell his wife wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
wanted
don't
him,
want
to,
to be
wanted
sued.
him to say the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, she knows. She obviously definitely knows how to drill up a bit of drama, and
Yeah.
she knows exactly what she's doing.
I gotta say, someone else who's probably reaping a lot of benefits from this is MMA Guru.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a lot of people are loving this. It's come out, and he's been the guy that's been pushing it, really.
Yeah. There was a couple of channels. Another one, Red Pill MMA. He's a slightly smaller channel, but he also posted a couple videos about it. But it's mainly Guru's received the most.
Yeah, yeah.
And his
Well,
videos are good.
as he should, with him being
Yeah.
the one that's been named.
The fat
And
wanker
we
with
spoke
a beard.
we spoke a little bit about that in the last episode.
Yeah,
on,
we did.
on how
We
it's,
did.
it's an interesting dynamic being a YouTuber and kind of stirring up shit behind the scenes of people who were paid to knock people unconscious
Yeah,
for
it
a
is.
living.
It is.
Um,
I like if we
walking the tightrope.
say
a
we
little
were
bit.
to ever get involved in something like that, I would want to be like someone who's more commentating on the drama. You
Yeah.
know? Not starting it.
Yeah.
I want to just commentate on it.
Yeah,
I want to be friends with everyone.
yeah. Let's just
Apart
keep
from-
kind of walking around the edges and
Yeah,
having a look
we'll
over
just
the
peek in.
fence. Yeah.
We'll just dip our toes in it.
Yeah.
You know, go slightly too far, but then really like quickly pull them back.
We're just like slightly looking through your bedroom curtains.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're just tickling the bear before it wakes up. We might lose a finger, but we're not going to lose an arm. Was
I missed
good?
that.
don't
Yeah, that
know.
was great.
I don't think that made much sense. But
Look, we'll run with it.
basically, Sean Strickland actually ended up getting involved as well with the Ian Garry drama,
As he does.
as he always does.
It's good to see.
It
We
is.
liked hearing from you, Sean. That was good contribution.
Cheers to Sean. That was Deshaun. When he comes out and says shit like that, that's Deshaun. He's no longer Sean. He's Deshaun Strickland, and he's just sat in his car like no seatbelt, just no shirt on, driving down the highway. Like, here's the thing, guys. I don't like to comment on this.
Listen
kind
here,
of
you
thing."
guys.
And he's just like driving, just fully just looking at the camera. Not even looking at the road. But it's priceless. And he releases that first video, basically saying, look, I don't want to comment. I don't like commenting on this kind of shit, but I feel bad for my man Ian Garry. I want to save him. So he basically did that one. Called him a few nasty words, maybe a cuck here or there.
And then hashtag saving Gary was started.
That was that was that one. And then I think the second one was the messages. He released the messages that Ian had been sending him.
That's right, yeah. So Ian is not very happy with the video that Sean put out. Apparently there is some false narratives that have been picked up and kind of run with throughout this whole thing. And Ian is saying that it's some sort of defamation of character, and they could be looking at some sort of lawsuit. In which case, Sean kind of turned around and said, "Join the club."
Yeah.
Which I would believe there was probably quite a few people lining up.
I think he also said if you were a real man, you would go to the shop, buy a 9, and be threatening my life or something like that.
Oh no, yeah, I think he said.
Then I'd respect you.
Yeah, I think he said if you had have threatened me with violence, I probably would have respected you more as a man.
Yeah,
I thought that was quite funny, and I kind of believe him too. It's like
yeah, 100%.
Because it's not like Strickland seems like the kind of guy to be screenshotting some Instagram DMs and posting them to his story.
No, not often, but I mean, post the receipts if you got them.
This situation's bringing out the worst in a lot of people, though, I think.
Yeah, like, even us. We're just like,
yeah,
can't
exactly.
help it. We're not talking about fights anymore. We're talking about gossip,
goodness,
juicy gossip. But look, it's funny and it's hot in the scene right now.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot, man. It is hot. And look, like Strickland said nothing that was false, like whatsoever. He basically said, "Look, Ian, this woman's a succubus," which seems to be objectively true. He said, "Look, your wife wrote the book. She wrote the book."
I love how that's an expression.
Succubus.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wrote the book, but in this case, it's not being used as an expression. You can actually buy this book.
You can buy this 11-page audiobook. We'll link it if you want it, just to let you all know. I'm not buying that shit though. $1.
You can.
$1 on Audible if you've got a subscription. Apparently.
Oh, okay.
I didn't buy it.
I don't have an Audible subscription.
Neither do I, and I don't want to read it.
I can't hear.
I can't read. So I can't hear.
We're fucked.
But yeah, nothing he said was false. So what's he going to sue him for? Like how are they
being a meanie?
Yeah, being a mean man and saying things I don't want you to say. He should just own it and be like Ian the Cuck Gary.
Ian the Cuck Gary.
Ian the Cuck.
Ian the Macaco
Gary. The future instead of the future. The Cuck.
I love how all of these different things have come out though. Like I saw her story shared somewhere onto someone else's.
That was on Ian's, I think.
Oh, was it on his Instagram?
Was this the really long one?
No, it was just her saying like she pretty much said, yeah, there's just been some false narratives made up about this whole situation about how my ex-husband lives with us, which we took hook, line, and sinker.
Apparently that's not true.
Yeah, so apparently that's not true. But then she just like completely doesn't address the fact that she is like you say, a succubus.
So there was a big story posted on Ian's account. First of all, it was a video of Ian basically saying, "Look, guys, like if you think you're gonna be able to shit on us and not have us clap back, you're wrong. Here's my wife." And then she takes it away and she's like, she said a bunch of shit. She was like, "I've been studying law for a very long time. I've got a certificate from Harvard," which is basically like you pay $100, do a 1-week course, and they give you it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then she also said the husband doesn't live with them apparently, but he is their nutritionist and he's got Ian on a vegan diet.
Mm-hmm.
And like they do hang out a lot.
Yeah.
And Ian hangs out with them alone a lot, which is weird. And like as well, she mentioned about the book. She said apparently this was around the 2010 Football World Cup, and it was a hot topic, and they did it as like a joke, which is interesting. But you still did it.
Yeah. And
you still had all those thoughts and ideas, and
And some people have probably taken that seriously, right?
Yeah.
And they've taken that 10-page audiobook, and now they're hearing that it's just a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, the MMA Guru's video could just be a joke,
The MMA guru actually said that in his video. He was
You
like,
listening, Ian?
I'm playing a character. Like, he was just saying, just in case, just to not be liable for anything.
Oh,
I'm playing a character.
Fair enough.
I'm playing a character of what an MMA commentator would maybe say in this situation. I found pretty funny. But God, in fact, I'll pull that up because if you haven't seen
Pull that
this,
up, Jamie.
it's pretty crazy. Instagag. So, I'll let you guys see this.
Awesome, nice bare knuckle highlights. We are once again overcast, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty hot though.
It is pretty hot. I think it's probably somewhere around degrees, maybe 8 between.
Should we check?
20. I'll check. You keep bringing up what you're bringing up.
Okay.
Apologies for my audio. Then it would have been terrible.
So
we are sitting at 18 degrees at 5:48 p.m. in the afternoon. So that's quite warm for Christchurch, at least.
It is. It is.
Overcast.
Wait, is it 18?
It's 18 degrees.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. Can you? I was going to say, can you check what it's going to be on Saturday? But maybe we'll do that afterwards. Do you know what I'm going to try and do live on air?
Do you know what I'm finding really hard? Is between sips of these drinks, and then I've got to talk for 2 minutes with a whole lot of balls in my mouth.
Yeah, I don't like having balls in my mouth for too long.
No.
Usually it's like a once a day thing for 10 minutes.
I feel bad because I just end up chewing them.
Imagine the people who have to put balls in their mouth every night.
Every night?
Yeah.
Like an evening tradition?
Yeah. Now try and think of the type of people who would do that. The men who might do that. Maybe a Liam J?
Oh, speaking of, weren't we going to watch this Ian Garry video?
Oh, yeah, let's get into that. So this is I don't know how much of this I'll play on the show, but maybe I'll just start it again. So this is the story that he posted this morning. Can we get a bit of audio on that?
We get a bit of audio, maybe?
Oh, do I need to unmute it? That would probably help. So this is Ian Garry basically handing it over to his wife. Not sure whether you guys can hear this at home, but go to Ian Garry's Instagram if you want to watch it. Oh. I've already watched this. I don't have to watch.
This is...
Look at how long it is.
Nah, turn it off. I've had enough.
Look at her.
No.
Look at her as well. I just found this funny. The way she just like shoves her tits in there.
Yeah.
And it's like what are you fucking doing?
It's nothing about this. It's about her. It's all about her getting attention.
Yeah, no. Exactly. And then you just see poor Ian Garry, who's obviously been forced to allow, well, I don't know whether that's true, but it seems like potentially she's been like, Ian, mate. Yeah. Ian, like, oh, look, she's got a law degree though, so we better not talk shit because she'll come at us with a defamation case.
That's fine.
Which she said is apparently the easiest thing to do. It's simple. Defamation's simple.
Well, let's watch her fuck it up.
Yeah, let's see it. Apparently defamation is like the hardest one to do, like to actually prove. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, God.
That's funny. Well, yeah, like for me, if I wanted for a whole lot of people to respect me, because that's what she wants people to believe that video was. Then I wouldn't, like you say, come out wearing a top that is showing off. I hate to say it, but like half of what's going on up there. And then expect people. It's just no, man. This whole thing is cooked.
Yeah, it just seems so obvious watching from the outside in, right?
Yeah, like and the thing is Ian has nothing to do with all of this. Like he's probably freaking out about all this whole thing, and she's just sitting there pulling the strings. Like, yeah, this is great. I'm sitting in the hot seat.
Yeah, she's got all of the attention now that Ian should be getting for his crazy, awesome fight style. and his interesting personality, right? Like he's not getting any of that attention anymore. It's basically all on her, which is probably what she wants. Probably somewhere in a little book that this is what you should be doing.
That's right.
And it just seems so odd because he's 26, she's 40. First of all, that's a massive red flag. Now she's coming out like it's not like she wants to just push this under the it's good. Yeah, it's good.
It's not a massive red flag.
Really good, actually.
I think Ian's living out a lot of people's idea of a good time. Maybe not settling down. But anyway, like we say. Like we say, it's
it's interesting, man. It's real interesting. I wanted to bring up the fact that Gary God, we're really just gonna keep talking about this, aren't we? Just a bit of hypocrisy as well, like him trying to roast Jeff Neal, chucking his mugshot on his t-shirt and walking around with it on all the embeddeds and before and trying to get it out anywhere. It's selling that t-shirt.
Yeah. That's
great. That's nice.
Yeah.
A good little, that's not like defamation or anything like that.
That couldn't be defamation at all.
And then also making up the fact that Neil Magny abuses children. That's all good. That's just selling a fight.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Definitely not worth suing someone for that. Neil Magny. Please.
Yeah. Neil Magny, if you need a lawyer, talk to Ian Garry's wife.
Yeah, she might help you out.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you pay her enough, she'll probably leave him.
Yeah, that's true. Whoa.
Can't fucking help it, honestly.
We're gonna need a lawyer soon.
Yeah, there are two things right there that he's done in the public eye to try and sell a fight that is just completely like that's defamation. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah,
guys, I'm not a lawyer. But
no, I agree with you. It's on the same level though, isn't it?
It's on the same, if not worse, because all the stuff people are roasting him about is public knowledge.
No, the funny thing is, like, I know that Jeff Neal's mugshot happened, right? But the funny thing is, I think he's getting upset about this is because none of it was made up. And, and he's getting upset because, oh, fuck, the truth's coming out and all these people are having their weird angles on it and all of a sudden don't like the way that I'm living my life, or more the fact that people are talking about how he's living his life. Could you imagine how uncomfortable that would make you feel?
It would be rough. It would be rough. And again, I just want to say, like, I think Ian seems like a pretty decent kid, like deep down. Kid. Again,
he's the one copping the the pointy end of the stick here. Like,
I think a lot of people are trying to look out for him, like the Stricklands of the world, right? And again, do whatever the fuck you want with your free time and your relationships, but like. Sometimes there are people in life that maybe want to take advantage of you, and maybe it's not a good thing, and maybe it should be
when the world turns around and starts saying it to you.
When like the world just like looks over their shoulder, like does a second take, like wait, that's not good.
No,
there's obviously something wrong. But yeah, honestly, it's a drama's funny, man. But I wish the best for Ian Garry. I really do. I think he's. Something I actually wanted to maybe move into is are people sleeping on Vicente Luque in this fight that's coming up?
I think they are. I've seen so many breakdowns on YouTube that are just like, why Ian Garry is going to walk through Vicente Luque. And they just have, a whole thing on why Ian Garry is good, but they don't have anything on how complete Vicente Luque's game is himself.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hype Ian Garry up like we have before. We've said like he is one of those guys that should be fighting for a belt soon. That's
couple more fights.
Yeah, couple more fights. This fight, one more maybe, and then boom, straight in there for the strap. That's what I believe, at least.
I honestly think that Luque would be a decent bet for this fight. Like if you're looking at it, like first of all, he's probably a heavy underdog or a reasonably heavy underdog. But he's got way more experience at the top level.
Way more.
And he's trained with Gary before, which will potentially give him confidence or knock his confidence a little bit.
Was Gary kicked out of that gym? Or was
no, I think they actually will go back to training together after this fight.
Nice.
Which is interesting.
There's a happy ending.
Wow. Finally, a happy ending for Gary.
Anyway.
But so, there's that. And then you got to think, 296 is only like, it's less than 2 weeks away. This shit that's going on right now has got to be affecting him. Got to be, right?
That's right.
Like, any time put into this is going to drain his energy, like he said, his own words. and that's gonna stop him from being able to give his full attention to this fight that's coming up.
Meanwhile, Vicente Luque chipping away in the shadows.
I haven't heard him say anything.
No one's talking about him.
Yeah. So yeah, chipping away, like you say, in the shadows. He's just getting his work done.
Yeah, I did say that.
You did. Put a bet on Luque. Chuck a $5 on him. Luque to win by decision or something. I don't know. Who knows? But
yeah,
Luque's good, man.
Yeah, I still like. I'm still just leaning towards that young spark that Ian Garry is, just because of the tidal waves that he has been since he's joined the welterweight division.
He is great. He's
but
a great
yeah,
fighter,
like you say, the odds are starting to stack up and against his favor with all this negative press.
And on top of that, Luque's style is a good style for Garry to fight. He's a brawler who comes in and he wants to fight in the pocket. Garry will teep you, he will leg kick you, he will keep you at his range, and he will pick you apart. As long as he can, employ that game, and as long as he's focused on the fight, So it is a tough one to call, but it wouldn't be a bad bet.
Luque's got quite a good chin too.
He's been knocked out a couple times, but he's also not been knocked out a couple times.
He's been in some like decent. Yeah, like he's taken some hits.
He's been hit by Wonderboy a bunch. He got dropped a bunch, but never got finished. I can only think of him getting knocked out by who was it?
Not Jeff Neal.
Jeff Neal, yeah. And I can't think of any other times he was knocked out. Could be wrong, but it's going to be a tough fight. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, an interesting one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching this short episode of Combat Corner.
If you like what you see, we've got lots of long form content below and lots of other videos like this, so feel free to go along and check it out. We really appreciate all your support. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment, share it around. Have a good day.
Peace.